Hello, guys, and welcome to the Chosen Podcast with me, Daniel.
And me, Mark. And thank you so much, guys, for your responses in the first video. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Give us questions, topics that you want us to discuss. And yeah, your general feedback is always welcome. So Daniel, talking about the first episode, what do we think?
I think it went down very well, mate, to be fair.
Yeah. The feedback from some of your guys that you know, it went down really well, right?
I had a good few messages, WhatsApp, Discord messages, a lot of my chat on Twitch, all saying how good it was. Had some constructive feedback from a guy at work. So I'll bring a couple of those points up to you, Mark.
Yeah, cool.
One of the first ones was the music at the beginning of our video.
Right.
Said it was a bit wasn't sure what to expect from the podcast with the music. Maybe a bit aggressive, maybe. So obviously that music was just a copyright-free music I found on YouTube. It just sort of fitted the video. So maybe we need to think about that.
Yeah,
possibly,
we can look at a more happy, cheery song.
Oh yeah, maybe a bit. Yeah, maybe a bit more softer or something. So if anyone has any ideas, send us
not Beethoven though. Not Beethoven.
Potentially not Beethoven.
Yeah.
Might avoid that.
Different direction in that.
Yeah. As I say, if anyone has any ideas, send us through some. About 10 seconds, I think, is the rough time. So yeah, we're happy to change that. Also, a bit vanilla was the expression.
A bit vanilla?
A bit vanilla. So
what does that even mean?
That means there was nothing controversial. So there was nothing, didn't feel like he learned anything, didn't disagree with anything. It was just very vanilla, very plain. Said it was a good podcast, but it was just, you wouldn't rush to rewatch it.
It's fair enough.
So listen, constructive. We take it on the chin.
Yeah, of course.
We do have a controversial subjects segment coming up. So hopefully we can escape that vanilla tag. And also, why are we called the Chosen Podcast? So as we said last time, I decided to start this podcast. To be honest, it's probably lack of creativity from me. Just I stream under the name Chosen One Live. It was literally just from that the Chosen Podcast. That was it.
Yeah.
As I say, probably lack of creativity, but yeah, I mean that's literally it. So
hang on, wait, whoa, hold on. I wouldn't.
Well, we're gonna argue now, yeah? It's not vanilla anymore. We're about to kick off.
I'll fucking kick it off, mate. Give yourself some credit, bro. Like, I don't think it's lack of creativity. I think it's just this originally, although I jumped on board, this originally was your idea. And the Chosen Podcast, I think it's got a ring to it. I think a name doesn't really necessarily need to mean anything in order for the podcast to make sense. Do you know what I mean? I think it is just labeled that way, and that's what it is, man. I think yeah. And as you said, it was a link on from what you do on Twitch, which I think is completely fair enough. Yeah, I think it's cool, man. Yeah, I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm not creative, man.
That's it. We're cancelling the podcast, right, guys? Thanks for being here. It's lovely to have you all here. No, as I say, it was literally just a link off the Twitch name. So if anyone's watching this and has Twitch, please go and drop me a follow.
What's the Twitch name?
It is the Chosen One Live. Totally shameless plug there, but there we go. What can we do,
mate? Do it. Add it in. In fact, at the bottom, I want your tag right there.
We're going to link it, so go and follow that, please. Yeah. Every follower. Yeah. Every follower helps. So I think, Mark, let's move on to the big topic. So today is the 19th of July.
Yes.
And the big topic of the day is, has COVID disappeared now?
Well, Boris and the whole English government think that it's gone.
It's disappeared.
Obviously, because apparently Freedom Day is today, right? So, Dan, voice break. Dan, I won't go too much into COVID in terms of everyone's bored of it now. It's all old
100%.
news. Yeah, it's all crap. But let me ask you a question, actually. After now, July 19th, Freedom Day, there's no social distancing rules. We can choose to wear our masks in certain places, XYZ. Is your life going to go back to what it used to be on your terms, or are you going to make sure that you're going to have precautions when you're out as well?
No, 100% back to normal.
Yeah. So you choose to not wear the mask, etc.
I choose not to wear the mask. I didn't wear the mask for the last 6 months unless I went somewhere where you absolutely had to. I do have some problems with eating, as we discussed before. So wearing a mask caused me to cough more. So I chose not to wear the mask. But no, it goes back to normal for me, to be honest. I didn't like getting close to people anyway, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
I'm not suddenly going to start trying to hold people's hands. You know, it's just
no, of course.
no. I don't know. I don't know about COVID. COVID's a difficult one because that can kick up all sorts of arguments and people's opinions, and you know, and I don't really want to go down.
Well, we're vanilla at the moment, mate. So crack on, guys.
No, I'm leaving that one because that one will get horrible.
Yeah, no, I know.
Whether you should take the vaccine and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah. I've got one guy at work at the moment that doesn't want to take the vaccine. He's a complete anti-vax, which is, hey, listen, fair enough.
Yeah.
Completely fair enough. I think. Do you know what it is? I think you're entitled to your own opinion for sure, 100%. And if you don't want to take it, it is your body at the end of the day, etc. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's the
100%
people that enforce that, like, that judge that opinion for not taking it, and in a quite harsh manner. I think that's where you're now the wrong one. Not that the anti-vax were wrong in the first place, but you're now causing the problem. Do you know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with you. And there's a lot of that around, man. There's a lot of that around. It's like the society's divided in this anti-vax and then vaccination people. And if there's no middle ground, like in the bigger sort of ponds of society, do you know what I mean?
I fully agree with that. I think so I've been offered my jab. I haven't taken it yet. Haven't gone to get it. I'm not opposed to it. I'm also not pro, let me go and get it right now. I'm sort of in the middle, not really bothered, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I said to you the argument. People go, yeah, well, if you don't care about yourself, then protect other people. But it doesn't stop you getting sick, and it doesn't stop you from spreading it. So you tell me the main reason why I should go and get that jab.
Yeah.
Out of hurry, because eventually they're going to force us to take this. It's come out today that I think the clubs, you're going to have a vaccine passport to get into a club as of September.
Yeah, I think most places, well, like restaurants and hospitality are going to be.
So this is the thing, they're forcing it on us, aren't they? You know,
at some point,
eventually we're going to have it. So I don't really know why they're giving us a choice. It should be, here we go, you're going to get it.
Well, this is what the government's doing. I think is that not to get too political, but I think what they're doing is they're saying, oh, you know, you have a choice. You know, it's up to you, sort of thing. It's not obligated, etc. But knowing full well that they're going to turn around and go, but if you want to travel and have a holiday, you're going to have it. If you want to go and eat out at a restaurant, you're going to have it. Do you know what I mean?
Also, the thing that makes me laugh, sorry to cut you off, Mark. The thing that makes me laugh with is the getting the tests. So it doesn't cost you anything to get a test. You can go and get one free, whatever. As soon as you go on holiday, it's £120.
Oh, I heard that.
£120 when you get there. You got to have 5 tests while you're out there. It's like, I go, where did these costs all of a sudden come from?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, this is just, I don't know. I think, like, it's odd, man. It's odd. It's a very, what's the word? I guess controversial topic in terms of, all the conspiracies within it and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I've had my first vaccine, but I mean, I was a bit apprehensive beforehand. Like, obviously, like, this things come out of, like, you know, the blue, and this vaccine's come out of nowhere. Let's put it in the bodies quick, you know. And I was like, oh shit! And I started hearing all the blood clots thing. I wasn't too too hammered on that. Like, I was kind of ignoring it to a point. But it did kind of get in, you know, like the media was saying it so much, it was just niggling in my head. I thought, oh my God, like, what if the 5 out of 1,000 is me? Like, do you know what I mean? All that sort of shit. But I did take it in the end, and I only did that because my auntie's not very well at the moment, and I think if I want to go and see her, I think just out of that capacity, then I'll do that. Do you know what I mean? But I think if so, I don't know, because me and my friends were having this discussion for ages whether or not we would, and yeah, it was all up in the air, man. But yeah,
As I say, I'm not against getting it, man.
yeah,
I will
no,
probably end up getting it, to be honest.
you're just not in a rush to do it.
I must admit, I do draw the line at they're trying to stick a chip in us. I've
Yeah,
heard that
yeah,
conspiracy so much, it cracks me up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
They're
mad.
trying to stick a chip in you because they want to follow you. Well, hold on a second. You have a phone, you have laptops, you have a car, you have a bank
This,
account. They
yeah,
can follow
yeah.
you. If they want to know where you are and what you're doing, they will find out.
They
They
could
don't
do
need to stick a chip in you.
exactly. No,
You have a
no.
chip in your phone.
Mm.
They can follow
And it's in
you
your pocket 24
on
bloody
this,
7. Yeah,
you know. So they know
literally.
where you're going. So I draw the line at that, you know. But
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree.
I do follow what people say in terms of how quickly they put this thing together. It was very quick, you know.
In,
So
oh,
yeah,
in,
yeah,
terms
so,
of the, in terms of the vaccinations and stuff.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
quick.
the vaccines. Because if you think it took what, a year or something to get this vaccine together, and
Ah,
people say,
something like
oh,
that,
well,
yeah.
they done it off of another vaccine and this and that, but I don't know.
I
Who
mean,
knows what we're putting into our bodies? But well, I mean, when you're a child, you get vaccinated for all types of things. So
well, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
it's true. Yeah, yeah, man. But I guess, well, to close this topic off, mate, because we could probably go on about it all night, but it's a bit, what's the name? We've all sort of done with it. I think what you said, your life's not, you're going to go back to normal, which I think is completely fair enough. I think with me, I think pretty much the same. I think, I mean, I'll only wear masks in places that are extremely crowded, and say that you have to. It's you have to do it. Other than that, I'll take it off, if I'm honest. Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I would say to anybody listening, if you want to get the vaccine, go and get it. If you don't want to get it, you don't have to get it. And if you disagree with somebody, keep your opinion to yourself. You don't need to force your opinion on other people.
Yeah,
you know, that's all I would say. Agree. I would say on that subject, to be honest.
Yeah. And plus, mate, I haven't had a cold for about a year, mate.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had the flu.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll keep wearing that mask if I'm not getting a cold. Jesus.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I think we move on from COVID.
Yes, let's move on from that.
So I wanted to. It's funny because when I was thinking about subjects to come up with for the podcast, I was struggling this week on things to think about, and this happened to me last night. So this is why we ended up on it. And I've actually got it written down on my list as petrified of everything the older I get. That's on my list. Now that just sounds a bit mental. But
when you sent that list to me, I thought, do I need to reach out to Daniel?
Is there problems? Has he got issues? I think yes, I probably do have issues. And, this is what I'm hoping some people might be able to give me advice, or maybe I'm normal or whatever.
Or relate. 100%.
Or relate, 100%. So I think it started since having children. So since I started having children, I started to get very anxious about certain situations. So the one keeping me awake last night was we went to a park near us where we live, and they have deers, right? You know, deers, normal animals. They don't attack anyone unless you attack them.
Yeah, Bambi stop.
Bambi's, yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
a little bit bigger with horns and antlers or whatever you call them. You know,
Bambi's mum or something. Yeah.
So we went there, and we had to cycle through the middle of them. They were all sort of on the path, but there was a route, and I was petrified. I'm not particularly scared of deers, but I was just petrified for the kids in case what happens if one of them attacks or whatever. Obviously, I'm going to jump on the kids, but it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
That's half the problem. Right? The other half of the problem is then when I try and go to sleep, that will play on my mind for the next hour or 2 hours, and I will replay it non-stop, just going round and round of all the things that could have happened. And obviously it hasn't happened, but in my head, it just won't stop playing, you know?
Yeah.
And another example was I took my daughter fishing once. We went sat down by the river, we fishing, we caught a little fish, was happy, we come home. And again, for the next week, I kept envisioning her falling in, not being able to save her and all these different things. but this is not just something that happens once or twice. It's in all situations, and it does it to me
Yeah.
every time, and I can't shake it. I don't know if it's like
So
anxiety or what.
yeah. So it's not necessarily yourself. You're petrified of water. You're petrified of these. It's not that. It's more so that it's the father in you that is being petrified for the kids
Yeah.
in getting hurt. So it's more so that side than
But I think
personal.
I think it goes further than that though, because obviously you get that natural as a father. You worry about your children.
Yeah.
But where I think this becomes not normal is to be laying in bed, this stuff keeping you awake.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like that is not normal anymore. That's
Right.
gone past just being worried about your kids. I
Yeah,
feel
of
like
course.
in my own head. And I think that was why I
go on.
wanted to bring that up, because I didn't know if that is like a popular thing or it's just me or what, you know.
Well, let me add to that, yeah, because when you said that, the one thing came in my mind, and before that disclaimer, like anyone watching this, we're talking from our opinions. We're not talking like we know. Do you know what I mean? It's just life experience, all that sort of stuff, right? So I don't want anyone jumping on in the comments saying, "Oh, you think you're this? This is purely life experience." So when you said that, Dan, it reminded me, because I'm sure you're aware and you remember, because obviously I've known you for 20 odd years. But I dealt with depression, anxiety in my early 20s, right? Early 20s to mid, around that time.
Yeah.
And I went to something called CBT classes, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. I think that's the right word, the first one. And if you aren't aware, I'll say what it is anyway, just for people who are watching as well. It's basically counseling, but within groups. Yeah. And I went for social anxiety. And one of the things that I used to have problems with was ruminating. And basically, ruminating is where you replay a certain memory, or it could have happened, or a thought like what you're having about your daughter falling into the river, but you play it over and over and over and over again, and that is one of the signs that of anxiety, your anxious mind taking over and just replaying this moment that your body and your mind would be anxious for, and it just keeps on playing without your, just involuntary, just comes in and just plays and plays and plays and plays and plays. So it reminds it, what you said was quite similar, that when you have downtime in bed and you're trying to relax and your brain's trying to shut off, that's where the memory goes bang straight in there again, and then your thoughts just go absolutely haywire.
Yeah.
So have you spoken to anyone about this before?
No.
So this is the first time.
I think I've said it to a couple of friends, but not like anybody professional. You know? As I say, it's weird, like, because it doesn't happen to me during the day. It's normally when I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
When you said, when you're trying to shut down, you're just trying to relax. That's
the thing.
That's when it comes into my head, and it can be hours, man. You can just be laying there in hours, just replaying it. And even though nothing happened, nothing even remotely came close. Like when I took my daughter fishing, I always made sure she was away from the water and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't even anything that was nearly, you know, where you went, oh my God, that nearly happened. There was nothing. It's completely normal, you know. But then in my head, it's just constant. You replay it. What if she fell in when you weren't looking? And then you see her fall in, and then obviously you start panicking. And
yeah. And your body imitates that, right?
Like I lay in bed, and then I don't know. It's really. I think I've explained it. I was going to say it's hard to explain, but I feel like I've explained it.
You've explained it. Yeah, you've explained it well.
But it's something that I find really hard to get over, and I can't get over it. It's just there's. I mean, I've given you 2 examples. There's hundreds of examples I could give you. You know.
Does it happen every day?
Not every day. So the thing with the deer happened Saturday. We went out on Saturday, so it's Monday today as of recording. That played in my mind Saturday night and yesterday evening. So that's 2 nights. Normally last 4 days to a week, where I'll just constantly replay it, and then after that it sort of goes.
Right, I'm with you.
But that's every time something happens. So as I said, with the river, with the deers, my wife took the kids to down by the river where we live once. She sent me a picture of all the kids standing at the fence, or like like a fence. But literally, they're right on the edge of the river. So if one of them slipped between the bars, they're in the river, and the river is flowing. So it's not like you can just pull them back out. And I received a picture and instantly freaking out. Like, you've left them the other side of the, you're too far away. You can't jump and save them. You're not going to be able to stop them in time. So the panic to me then was nuts. And then, as I said, that's now a week of constantly replaying it. I wasn't even there.
Yeah,
I saw a picture.
You just got the picture.
And that just stays with me for a week solid.
Just
thinking about it, replaying.
It sounds like a form of anxiety, bro. Like, especially because you said it started when you had kids.
Yeah.
So maybe something in your brain is just, obviously that fatherhood, obviously you're going to worry, you're a good father, etc. But maybe your mind's just run with it and just gone haywire. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like, when we say anxiety, it doesn't mean it's not normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, man, bro, I'd say talk to someone, because it would be cool to, not cool, that's the wrong word. It'd be handy to have a different perspective from someone in the professional world and see what they say. And because especially with CBT, there's so many techniques and stuff that you can do when you're feeling these moments that can sort of calm you down and ease you in back to sort of normality, I suppose, as it were. I would recommend it. I would recommend it, especially for anxiety, I think.
I think it's something I need to look at, because it's, for want of a better word, it's not normal, I don't think, to be laying there having these thoughts.
No, it's not. It's not a life you want to lead, is it? It's not that. No.
But I don't want that to sound wrong, because
I get,
we suffer with these things. We can't control them. It's not so saying it's not normal is not the right way of expressing it. But I think
I completely get what you're saying. Because your normality would be, you want to go to bed as soon as you lay it down. You go to bed, no worries at all.
You just want to go to sleep. Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
But I also want to go out with the children and not worry about these things, and then knowing what's coming as well. Because every time you're in a situation and, I don't know, you start to panic about something, I know what's coming then in the evening. So maybe you're already setting it up already in your head. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, maybe, bro. Maybe there's an element of like, you've sort of told yourself, oh, this is gonna happen, and therefore, subconsciously somewhere it does.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not blaming you, of course, but maybe that is like one of the behaviors that are happening at the moment that keys it off, maybe, or that you relate it to the evening times, I suppose. But
I think you're right. I think talking to somebody might be the way forward.
100%.
I've always been I don't know, a little bit embarrassed, I would say, with doing things like that. And we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be embarrassed about it, because it's completely normal.
Yeah, completely. I think you could, like, especially as men, the stigma of like mental health and being upset and sad for a man is like, obviously for years we've been told like, you can't cry, you're a man up, all that sort of stuff. Like, so it's hard for us to, having that that stigma for so many years, and then deal with mental health issues. We sort of like, obviously trying to push it back as far as like you said. I sometimes feel embarrassed about it, but about talking to people. But yeah, like you said, you should, man. Like, I think it's worth it. And I think, going by my own journey, bro, like I with social anxiety, like, me, I'm a confident person, right? I'm outgoing, all that sort of stuff. But there was times where, like, going out in crowds and all this sort of stuff, even walking through Westfields on my ones to work, I used to, like, my anxiety would be absolutely through the roof, and I never admitted the fact that walking through Westfields on my ones was petrifying for me. Like, I never said it to anyone. And I thought, this can't be right. This can't, like, and I thought, like, I'd be thinking everyone's looking at me for some reason, like all this. I'm going fucking mad in my head. I don't know, like, nothing's, no one gives a shit about me. You know what I mean? In Westfields, but in my head, this is what was going on, until I spoke to the CBT people and other professionals as well, to get a better insight as to why maybe this is happening. It definitely gave me like a really interesting perspective, and like a healthier perspective as well. Do you know what I mean? And a mindset to go, right, let's work, let's iron out this crease because I can't. Yeah. And it was just nice. It's welcomed with open arms when you go to speak to someone. So I'd recommend it, bro.
I think that's our recommendation for anyone. If you're having any mental health issues or anxiety issues, speak to somebody.
Yeah.
So even if it's a friend, talk to a friend. Just talk to anybody.
Anyone.
I think
it'd be like just to latch on to you, Dan. I think anyone that's listening that has any problems or like, you know, you'd be surprised how many people are out there that will actually listen to your problems. Like people may feel that they're alone or that you're not alone. 100%. Someone will listen. 100%. I guarantee. I put money on it.
Totally
just
agree.
speak.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be our advice, I think, on that 100%. One. Yeah, that was probably good to get off my chest anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, how do you feel now, Dan?
Well, I'm not paying you for that session, but you know,
right, so that's episode 2 done.
Yeah. No, so that's cool. But okay, right. So let's now go to our controversial subjects segment.
Yes.
Because we don't want to be known as vanilla around here.
Let's spice it up. Come on.
Although I do have a glass of vanilla milkshake right in front of me. So maybe I am vanilla, who knows? So now the reason I come up with this first question was I am going back to college. You don't know that.
Oh, amazing.
I'm going back to college. I'm resitting my maths and English GCSEs because I didn't get them in school because, as we said before, I wasn't very well behaved. So in order to move up in work, I need to get some qualifications. So I'm resitting them.
Nice. Well done, bro. Proud of you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But in the English test I had to sit before being accepted, I was asked this question and I had to write an essay on it and it took me forever. So I wanted to hear your opinion. The question was, are we too soft on children? There we go. That is your question. So
are we too soft on children? Are we too soft on children? Disclaimer, I do not have kids. But that doesn't stop people that do not have kids having an opinion on this very subject. And I think my opinion would be, and I say that because I've had people come up to me before on previous podcasts, go, you can't say this, you can't have an opinion, you don't know what it's like. People can have opinions, right?
You can have an opinion.
Thank you, Daniel. So I think there are elements of today's world where we are far too soft on children. And I say that in respect of, you know, going out, even just walking down the street or catching the train or catching a bus, you know, the way that some kids speak to mum or speak to dad, and then dad does it or mum doesn't do anything about it. They just let it slide and then it's let go. And it is absolutely like semi-abusive from the children. I'm like, how the hell is your child getting away with this? Like, obviously we're brought up in an era where if we said that to our mum or dad, but it's game over. Like, do you know what I mean? We're getting punished. We're getting punished. Whereas today, I feel like that discipline has slipped away quite by quite some margin, right? And I only say that really because some of the stuff that I've heard in the streets or like on trains and stuff, I feel like if my child, when my missus and me have a child, if my child speaks to mum like that, well, then you're in very, very big trouble. Don't mum get birth to you. Like she gave you life. Do not disrespect mum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think, I mean, like, as I said, I don't have kids, so I don't know particularly what areas it is that we're going soft on them in, but from what I've seen outside, I think we are. And I think, I don't know whether that's like, maybe you can help me out here. I don't know whether it's because of the access of like social media or games or seeing people throughout the world and copying their influences and all that sort of being influenced by their behaviors and stuff. And it rubs off on the kids much more sooner than it would do us back in our childhood. I don't know whether that's a contributing factor, but like a lot of kids these days have phones before they're in school. Like, bro, I don't think I got my first phone until I was midway through secondary school. Do you know? Do you know what I mean?
I think I was the same. I think I was about 12. Yeah.
But around that age. And although phones weren't massive back then, but people had phones. So it kind of baffles me where there's so it's like when a child's given a phone or something, when there's so much to access so freely, I feel like that maybe goes against the whole discipline of either not working for what or working for to have things, or but behaving right to have things, and and being a good child, and getting rewarded for it, etc., etc. But I would say, yeah, I would say, yeah, in a few cases that I've seen, 100% we're going too soft on kids.
So I would go down what you said about video games. I'm against what people say. Oh, it's because of video games. I don't think video games has anything to do with anything. To be honest, okay. I don't see why that would influence you. You know, let's say they're playing Grand Theft Auto. 12-year-olds playing Grand Theft Auto, and they get an AK-47 and they shoot someone in the face. Doesn't mean they're going to go out and do it on the street. So with the video games thing, I don't fall for that. It might.
Okay. It might. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, go on.
I don't fall for that. I think society now is very soft. We are very soft. You're not allowed to do anything anymore. You're barely allowed to raise your voice at your kids anymore without the fear of social services coming and removing.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, very true.
Back when I was a child, you were allowed to be smacked. You know, you're allowed to be hit. You do something wrong, you get smacked. You knew what was coming. If you do something wrong, I'm going to get smacked. And I'm old enough now where social services aren't going to come and take me away. So good luck with that. No, I think very much so. I think very much so. We're too soft on children now. As I said, society is going that way where you can't say anything even.
You know, so do you reckon? Sorry to cut you up, bro. Do you reckon it's from the fear of being like claimed as a bad parent that we're being?
I think that's definitely up there. Yeah, 100%. But it's everything. You know, we don't need to go into any of the subjects, but you know loads of the subjects where you can't say things now for someone going to jump on you because you've said something they disagree with.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this whole cancel culture thing, isn't it? People are just waiting for you to say something wrong. You know.
They're on Twitter just fucking waiting, like, come on, say something. Like,
so I don't remember the guy's name, but there was a guy who just was picked to play for England's cricket team. I don't know his name, but they found some tweets where he was saying things. But this goes back to like 2012, I think. So we're talking 9 years ago, you know. And he said some stupid things. Don't get me wrong, they were stupid, you know. But I mean, at the time he was like 16. And now I think they kicked him out of the team, or they tried to get him kicked out of the team. He's suspended or something along those lines. I don't really follow cricket, but I just remember reading the story.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Look how far people will go. You know, and that's where I think we're just too soft in general now over everything, over any subject.
Yeah. I think it comes also down to like closed-mindedness as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like going on what you just said there. Do you remember the Kevin Hart situation where he mentioned? So in his like, I can't remember what year this was, but it was like one of his first like live shows on Netflix. I think it's called Laugh at My Pain or something. One of the old ones, right? So many years ago. He made a few jokes about his son being gay, or if he turns gay, he can't be gay, like all this sort of stuff. Like, which obviously very, very mad, right? But, you know, people went back all the way back to his tweets that he said at like 2012, 11, 10, whatever it was. And was saying, you've said this, you're this person. How dare you be so, do you know what I mean? Homophobic, rah, rah, rah. And he's like, well, hang on, whoa, like that was so many years ago now. Like I've developed and changed and evolved as a human. Like, okay, fair enough. They were bad comments back then. I know, you know, I apologized previously for them, but now I'm a different human. You can't pin me for that again. Otherwise, how long do we do this circle for? Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. I agree with it. What does he get to 95 and then you still bring up something?
Yeah, you go, 20? 70 years ago. Yeah. What are you chatting about? Yeah,
I agree with that. You have to allow people to grow.
Like at the time, if he came out with a tweet like it now, slew him, of course. Do what you want to do. But at the same time, you know, if you've seen a tweet from 10 years ago, you have to sit there and go, well, actually, it was 10 years ago. Is he that person now? Let me find out. And if he is, then well, do your thing. But like, if not, Why the fuck are you moaning? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
So it was
Don't get
funny
it.
because obviously we went to school together, and I had this conversation with a friend the other day. Same guy that gave us a lot of feedback from this podcast, and he was saying that. Do you remember the days of school? He's a little bit older than us, so I think this come after him. But when you'd call your friends gay, and all
Yeah,
it
yeah,
meant
yeah, yeah.
was like, you're gay. You know, it's like
It didn't really have
it's a
meaning at the
playground
time.
insult. There was no reason behind it.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
you. It wasn't because someone was actually gay and you were trying to mock them. It was just a
Mm.
general like playground stuff, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
If you say that now, well, you know what happens.
Mm. Yeah, you'll get pinned for it.
You cannot say things like that anymore. Which I don't. I'm not saying I don't disagree with. By the way,
No, of course,
just
no,
to
of
add
course.
that in before anyone attacks me for that.
No,
I'm
of
not
course,
saying
no,
I
get
don't
that.
disagree with it. It was just a point where it was like, do you remember back in the day when you do that and
Yeah,
there'd be no
yeah,
meaning
just
to
say the
it?
point. Yeah.
And if you said it now, if I went to you, Mark, you're so gay, that would be jumped on.
Mm.
Now you're mocking him because of such and such, and no,
Like
we've
you're using that as an insult.
I think we've deviated a little bit from are we too soft on children, but I think that the point
No, but
still in there, you know.
it's a good conversation.
Yeah, but yes, I think
So,
honestly, we're too soft on children.
Yeah, what did you write in your essay? How did you?
Yeah,
don't read it to me now because
oh, mate, it took me hours to write it. So no, I said yeah, we're too soft on children. Yeah, 100%. As I said,
that's interesting. That's interesting about the games though, because I'm the opposite.
Oh really? You think it's?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Yeah, and I think the only reason being is that like I find that kids being like absolute sponges. Do you know what I mean? They take everything that they see and they learn from the behaviors that they're around, etc. Like, I mean, at the same time as me saying this, I don't believe that every child that plays a gun game is going to be a serial killer later on in life.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I reckon the probability of that happening in like 1, 2, 3 out of 10 children would be enhanced due to the fact they're shooting people in the face and getting away with it on the streets. Do you know what I mean? In GTA or whatever.
I think it depends. It's got to depend what your family background is, though. You come from a decent family, who tell you this is wrong, it's just a game, then surely there's little chance of you turning out that way.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And also, I mean, if how to phrase it, if you're that way inclined anyway, playing that video game's not going to change it. You're going to end up doing it anyway. I think it doesn't matter about a video game.
Yeah.
That's just a personal opinion, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. And I think there is a point that you're making that is valid, because I mean Fortnite is aimed at kids.
Yeah,
we're shooting up the place in Fortnite. What's going on?
Exactly.
I mean? So yeah, I mean there is that argument for sure.
It's personal opinions, man. You know, I just think
yeah, of course, and I think it's probably like you said. It depends on how you police it as well, right? Like as a parent,
as a family,
how you police that, yeah, and how you, I guess, reassure the child that it is just a game at the end of the day, etc.
But I also want to point out that that doesn't mean I believe you should be letting your kids play Grand Theft Auto at 10 years old, because that's a different subject. That's totally separate to whether I think that shapes them.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's no way I'd let my kids play GTA at 10.
Yeah.
11's a different discussion.
It's just why you let it play what you want.
Yeah. No, I just go on.
I got a question that latches onto that one. Would you limit the time that your child is on a game for, or would you just let them roll free?
We try to. That's always easier said than done. Well, it's not because you can. I mean, you can limit them to an hour, but I mean, I work at home full time. They're now on summer holidays.
Oh, they're off now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're now off. So I've got work to do. If my wife goes shopping or whatever, I can't sit and play with them because I've got to work. So what do? You let them play with the toys. You let them play with their games consoles and tablets and whatever. Should we limit them? Yes, probably. But sometimes it's easier to give them the Switch. Like, go sit down, play the Switch, because you know they're going to sit there for an hour and be quiet.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Probably not.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's
But
easier.
so from a parent's perspective, it is handy for that to be to utilize that, because
Oh, 100%.
wise for you, you won't get
Yeah.
your work done otherwise. Yeah.
Because if you got, I mean, you've got anything. I mean, it comes down to cooking dinner. If you're on your own cooking dinner, you can't keep an eye on the kids and cook the dinner, and it's
yeah,
not,
of course.
it's not easy. So you stick the TV on, or you give them, as I said, the tablet, games consoles. They've got tons and tons of toys. Too many toys, to be honest. But should you limit? Probably. You probably should limit. They shouldn't be on them too much for too long. Sorry.
But it's hard, easier said than done. You say
it's easier said than done, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
But I think so. To round that one up, I would say yes, we're too soft. What are you saying? You saying yes?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I think the act of disciplining a child is a very small act in this day and age, depending on the person, obviously. But from what I've seen, it's the majority of is that there's kids that do not have discipline in this world right now.
There's limits on what we can do. We won't carry on into it, but yeah, the same things as.
I mean, maybe.
Mate, the teachers used to hit students. They were allowed to hit them with sticks or whatever they used to hit them with.
Yeah,
I mean, that generation was pretty good. Look at ours. We got kids stabbing each other. they know the teachers can't tell them off. Yeah. What are your parents going to do? Parents don't do anything these days. Anyway, so yes, we're too soft.
Yeah.
Okay. Second subject for you here, Mark. Now, I don't think this one's too controversial at all, to be honest with you. Okay. But I was looking, obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, as you're aware. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a whole different subject. I was looking at the new tops. The new tops were released, I believe, Friday. So obviously there's me and my wife, and we have 3 children.
Yeah. So
I looked up to buy them, as I said. Can you guess the cost for 5 t-shirts?
Flipping hell. Okay, hang on, let me try and work this out.
You got to think there's 2 adults and 1 8-year-old.
Yeah, 2 adults and 1 8-year-old. How many? But you can buy 5, yeah. I'm gonna say
5 1 3.
I'm gonna say like 200 quid.
£265 for football shirts. No.
Well, and for including the kids one as well.
That's all of them.
Wow.
So an adult top was £65. Bearing in mind this is just a top.
That's mental.
A top for my 8-year-old daughter was £45 for just the top.
For an 8-year-old?
Yep. The 2 boys who are under 5 get the full kit for £45. So I put it down as a controversial subject, but I don't think it is. And the question is, are they too expensive? But I don't think this is too controversial. I have to be honest. But
I mean, that I think it would be. I think some people probably would say Arsenal's worth it. Arsenal fucking give them, but 100%, yeah, bro. Especially if you're, like you said, you're a family supporting Arsenal. You like the shirts, you want to wear the shirts. Kids love them, etc. And you got to fork out 260 odd quid to buy it. That's mental, bro.
Which is crazy. I can't.
It's like yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say I was shocked. I typed it in and went to the basket, and I was like £265. I was like, did you mental? No. I was like, I'm not paying. There's a part of me that wants to, but there's also another part that's like, it's just such a lot of money on a t-shirt that next year will be a new t-shirt.
Exactly, and you have to fork out another.
What you got to remember is this is not including names. These are like replica tops, so you don't get any of the Premier League badges or any of that stuff. This is just a bog standard replica t-shirt.
Basic, yeah.
No name, no number, and it's £265.
So from off the top of your head, then, what is it to customize an Arsenal top for yourself? Say,
I think, and we might be fact corrected here, but I think it was about £15
for the name
for the name and the number. So and then the badges are like £10. So these are all add-ons,
Yeah. So yours started off as what, 65? Was it
65? Yeah. So if you've done the name and the number, you're at 80. Then the badge, you're at 100.
That's what I'm saying.
I said it in one of the
Oh man.
group chats I'm in. I'm sorry to be looking at my phone, but I just wanted
No.
to tell you the cost because he bought his child a t-shirt, a Chelsea t-shirt.
Yeah.
Why he's doing that to his son, I don't know. Feel sorry for the poor
Yeah.
kid. But it was, if I can find it, £124 on just his son's top.
What? Hey, how old is the son?
I think this was a kit because he's put that the shorts were £30 for a pair of shorts.
Oh
So
my days.
you're asking me a question there, how old is his son? I think he was 9. He's 9 or 10. He's around there.
So almost matching up to an adult's price range.
There's
That's
124.
mental.
I think that's full kit, but that's still. I think he got the badges and the name and that. But that is
Look,
mental.
excess.
For one
That's
child.
I feel like if you're spending £100 on a ticket, like there's got to be like I can go to a away game for free or something. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Something like that. Because
it's mental. It's really is
mad.
mental.
It's like with the England Euros, right? So I don't own an England top. Ashamed to say, right? But the Englands were doing fantastic. I thought, oh, do you know what? For the final, let me go to JD Sports or like check online, etc., and buy a couple of tops for me and dad, mum, like to watch the final and all, all that sort of stuff. So I thought, oh, let me check it out. But the top alone's 80 odd quid, 90 quid or something stupid like that.
Yes, mental.
And I'm thinking, like, for a little while, me, like, all I want to do is support the team. Do you know what I mean? Like,
And it's going to cost you £200 for the pleasure.
Yeah, like, what is going on? Like, I think that's excessive. I think that is excessive.
It's mental. I didn't think it was very controversial, but I wanted to just sort of see your opinion.
Well, I mean, bring this up to someone who doesn't support football, mate. They'd be like, fucking, like,
It's
or no,
crazy.
there's someone, sorry, the other way around, the proper supports their team. They might be like, do you know what I mean?
There will be a percentage of people who are like, yeah, I'll pay anything to support the boys. And listen, I want to support the team, but do I want to spend £265 in the process?
That's the question.
When you can't really go to games.
No.
Because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like, am I going to spend £265 so they can wear them around the garden?
Exactly. How much is a ticket for an Arsenal game?
I was looking at a friendly game and they weren't released because they were giving them to season ticket holders only. But the cost,
right?
I think for an adult for a friendly was like £40 before, like
so
the cheapest seat.
To actually see your team play.
Yeah. You got to think
it's 20 quid cheaper than the top that you would buy to watch on the TV. That's mental.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's mad. I think that's crazy.
So
I'd love to know how much they cost to make as well.
Pennies probably. Yeah, pennies. I mean, can you imagine how many hundreds of thousands of shirts they're making as well?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
so it's probably pennies compared to what they make out of them. Yeah. But then I feel like they just rip us off.
Wow, there's so much money in football. We've got to see where it's coming from. Do you know what I mean?
I think, as I said, I don't think that one was very controversial at all. But I think this next one might be a little bit. And I've heard this a few times, and I used to have an opinion, and now I think it's changed. So I want to see what yours is.
I'd like to know your previous, and then your now,
which I'll give you.
Yeah, cool.
I've worded this: names on the back of shirts as an adult. What's your opinion on adults who have names on the back of their football shirts?
Oh, like the customized thing?
Yes, customized.
Oh, yeah, that's all right, isn't
it?
Okay. Yeah.
So listen, my opinion used to be, grow up, mate. How old are you? With your name on the back of the shirt?
Really? Yeah.
So it's okay. It's not the same, but I mean, I went to a wrestling event with my brother. My brother is big time into wrestling. I think I bought him tickets to go and see this wrestling show. It was like the Big Show, if you remember the Big Show.
Yeah, the Big Show. Yeah,
do you remember the Big Show? So he was there, and it was cool to be my brother and watch that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there was grown adults with like plastic belts. Like the whatever belts, I don't know what they call them.
Yeah,
like champion belts. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They'd have like the bandanas on and the hats on and the robes, and remember being there and just being, oh my God, you were so sad. How sad are you? You're a grown adult. And that's kind of where the opinion then moved into the same thing with the football shirts was, mate, you're a grown adult. Why do you have that player's name or your own name on a shirt? Like, how sad are you? You know? But as I get older, my opinions just changed to, hey, do what you want. You know, and this is where me and you've had that conversation with starting the podcast was I've reached an age now where it's just like, fuck it. You just got to do what you want, mate. Like, what does it matter of people's opinions? You know? And 100%. It's the same thing with a football shirt. If you want to go out and get your name and number on the back of the shirt, do it. 100%. If you want to do it, do it.
I agree.
Who's stopping you? Whether they call you sad or lonely or whatever, who cares? Don't do it. Yeah. But
no, I agree with that. And pardon me. But I mean, I'm slightly I mean that for me doesn't move into other areas. Like if I saw someone wear a plastic belt at WrestleMania, I'd be like, there's a reason why I'm not doing it. Do you know what I mean? There's so that I think that opinion within football with the t-shirts and stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah. I think if I don't know, let's say my man went to Arsenal. Yeah, he's come in the boots, shin pads. You know, that's I'm thinking.
Okay, that's different.
Then I'll be like, bro, you need that. Just come and watch the game. You're not playing. You're not on sub. You're not on bench. Do you know what I mean?
You're not getting called out, like picked out.
Yeah. He's just waiting.
You got your boots on. Come on. Yeah.
Do the stretches. Then I'll be like, okay. But at the end of the day, like you said, like, does it affect me in any way? Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all, mate. And if I want bloody, I don't know, Messi's name on the back of my shirt, well, I want it on the back of my shirt. So what? Jump. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I say to you about the wrestling thing. I know we probably differ a little bit, but I did think at the time, oh my God, how sad are you? But now I think if you love it that much and you are having fun, do it. Because when you die, you want to be able to say you enjoyed your life the way you wanted to do it, and just fuck what people think of you.
That is a very wise, 100%.
That's the way I look at that, you know. But on the subject of bringing someone off a bench, have you heard the story of Harry Redknapp when he brought on the fan off the bench?
No.
In a friendly game. So you have to excuse me because I'm doing this as me and you were talking.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I think it was West Ham. I think he was manager of West Ham, and said they were in a friendly game. They weren't doing very good. And he said there was a guy behind him, kept slagging him off. Why aren't you doing this? Do that. You should be doing this. All this sort of stuff. And he had so much stick from this guy that he turned around and said, right, come down here. He got him a pair of boots and obviously a kit and got him on. And the geezer scored.
No way.
I'm telling you, that is the story. Apparently he scored. The bloke scored.
That's got to be on YouTube.
In this friendly game. Oh, you'll find it. Yeah, you'll find the story.
I'm going to have to have a look at that. That is hilarious.
And I'll link that in the description below for YouTube listeners.
Yeah, do so. That is hilarious. Imagine what would you think of that point in time?
Just imagine being Harry Redknapp, just like, oh my God, he's just scored. I tried to mug him off and he's completely showed me up.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is amazing. That's Harry Redknapp's super sub, I think we can say.
Yeah.
But imagine you are now a complete legend amongst your friends. You've scored for your football club. Whether it's a friendly or what, you can't take that away from me.
A pro footballer tried to mug you off and you proved him wrong.
Yeah,
no one can chat to you for the rest of your life.
Which is amazing. I'm glad we came on to actually. That was
definitely link that because I think people would like to see that. Definitely football fans.
It's definitely a funny story. I remember laughing my head off when I heard that.
I've not seen that. I've not seen it. Yeah, you'll have to send it to me while I find it on.
Definitely, man. So yeah, listen, for controversial subjects, that's it for this week of those three.
Also, just to add, just to put anyone watching, like you have to give us time for the controversialness because me and Dan have known each other for a very long time. We've grown up for a long time. We've had many conversations, and we seem to think the same ways in certain subjects, and so we will come across ones where we don't agree. And that we'll have that discussion, but we're gonna have to just bear with us because we're good mates, and
we're gonna have to purposely find things that we disagree.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a chat outside this podcast and be like,
100%.
Let's
then
have a look at what
try
we
and
can
come up with something.
debate about. Yeah.
So I think let's move on to our little game from last week
Yes.
called Headlines, True or False. So you put me in charge this week of 5 headlines. I think it's pretty obvious. Are they true or false? I think it's in the title. I think we know.
And last week you got 4 out of 5, right?
4 out of 5. So can you beat
Very
that?
good. I don't know.
Can you beat that?
I don't know.
So I think we start with number 1 because that's how these things normally work. Let's be honest.
Right. I'm ready.
So, 43-year-old teacher caught hiding colleagues' items in the ceiling of the staff room.
What? That is so vague. Well, hang on, let me think about this. Because is that worthy of a headline story? This is a headline, right?
This is a headline.
Is this worthy of a headline story? Okay. I'm gonna say it's a headline.
It's false. I made it up.
No!
I made it up completely. I'm glad I got you with that one. You cannot beat me now, Mark. You can only draw.
Shit.
I'm glad I got you with that one.
Damn it. Do you know what? That was very well written. That sounded like a tabloid. Can't lie.
Well, I realised that I had to try and write it like a headline would come
Yeah.
across. Otherwise, it sounds
The
a bit
subject
silly.
was a bit crazy. I thought, is this really headline worthy? But I thought, oh, listen, I've seen some shit in the papers before.
I think I put caught hiding. I should have put something like sacked for hiding. Maybe that would have been a bit more, you know, because I think,
mate, to be fair, I still bloody lost.
I still got you, to be fair. I'm happy with that.
Still got me, mate.
So, number 2, missing woman unwittingly joins search party looking for herself.
No flipping way. No way. What?
Mental.
Sure, that's mad.
Mental.
That can't be real.
Can't be. Can't be real.
Can't be real. No, okay. No, I'm going to say it's real. Purely on the fact that is so mental. That is so like, what's the chances of that ever happening?
Yeah.
That would be a tabloid.
It was true.
Yes!
You're right.
Get in.
Imagine being in a search party looking for yourself.
I'd love to know
how
like
does that work?
How does that? Yeah, she's just gone. Oh, you right, guys.
Who are we looking for?
But the thing is, though,
right, okay.
Yeah.
Just carries on.
She joins a group of people that are looking for her, and they don't notice she's next to him. What's going on?
Well, there is that as well. But
That's
also,
a bad search party, isn't it?
What's even funnier is that she's helping them search for someone and she doesn't even know who they're looking for.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That is so funny.
Number 3, bugs flying around with wings are flying bugs. For the listeners, Mark has taken his headphones off.
Yeah, oh yeah, Spotify. Yeah, sorry guys.
I will repeat.
Yeah,
Bugs
please.
Flying around with wings are flying bugs.
That can't be a headline. That is false.
That is true.
Shut up. Fuck's sake.
And that is the exact reason it was put in there. That is.
Oh, mate. What paper? Do you have the paper that
I can link it to you later on. I'll send it to you.
Please. I need to have a look at that. That is
so funny.
So I can't. You've won.
You can't
already.
Win. You cannot
That's
win.
all right. I'm gonna redeem
it's okay.
it. Come back with something.
So number 4.
Yep.
Grandpa who won romp with 2 hookers in Get Your Grandpa Laid radio contest choked to death as he hurried his dinner on way to have a threesome with the 2 hookers.
Oh, so he didn't even have it.
So he didn't even get to have the threesome.
Oh, I was going to say big up the grandpa, but no, he didn't even get there. Jeez.
So he choked to death on his dinner, rushing to get there.
So, okay. Say it one more time for me.
Right.
I'm going to analyze this properly now.
Grandpa who won romp with 2 hookers in Get Your Grandpa Laid radio contest. Choked to death as he hurried his dinner on way to have threesome.
So hang on, radio contest. So today, guys, we're going to go on the segment of Get Your Grandpa Laid.
Listen, there's some weird radio stations out there.
Yeah, well, fact, and depending on what time it's on as well. Refocus. Sorry, guys. There we go. I'm gonna say. Oh, hang on. Wait.
It's a tough one. I wouldn't know what to say myself.
Can you say it one more time for me, please?
Right. Grandpa who won romp with 2 hookers in Get Your Grandpa Laid radio contest choked to death as he hurried his dinner on way to have threesome.
True.
You are correct. It was true.
Yes. Get in. I thought romp. Have I ever heard Daniel say romp?
I did wonder whether romp would catch me up. Because I know it's such a weird word, isn't it?
I think it did.
Okay, so 2 out of 4.
Okay.
Last one. Let's see if you can make it a 3.
Not good, is it? That's not good, right?
Rich man says poor people should just make money and get rich too, or stop complaining.
Oh, sorry. Say that one more time.
So a rich man says poor people should just make money and get rich too, or stop complaining.
Oh, to be fair, like that, there's some people out there that probably would say that. So I'm gonna say true.
That was false. I made that.
Oh no! What? There's me going. No, they're all. Yeah, no, I'm confident. No.
That one was good because it's so believable.
100%.
And listen, there probably is actually a headline out there somewhere, but I did.
Mate, if I find that, I'm taking the point.
Yeah. I added last minute or stop complaining at the end.
Okay.
I added that last minute because I thought rich man says poor people should just make money and get rich too. Could possibly be.
Yeah.
So I thought if I add it or stop complaining, it makes it more.
Yeah. That, mate, do you know what? You absolutely got me there.
So I have absolutely done you there. You got 2 out of 5.
That's horrendous.
Absolutely got you there.
Wow.
But I think in fairness, from week 1, you now know how this is playing out. I had an advantage because you done it first.
Yeah.
So I had the advantage of trying to trick you. I think.
Well, just you wait when we do this again, mate. I'm coming back. Do you know what? I might even have. Oh no, it's not for the Spotify listeners. That might not be. I was going to do pictures. No, it's fair. Well, next time I'm going to get you.
Sorry, Spotify listeners. He just totally discounted you there.
They throw me under the bus. What's going
on? Guys, let's cancel him. Right, Mark. So for the last segment, we have 2 questions from the last podcast.
Yes.
Number 1 is from Dan Must Die, and special shout out to Dan. He's also a school friend of ours.
Daniel Legg.
I believe we went to nursery with him as well. Mark's just given out his government name. There we go. And you are going to be stalked now. Sorry about that, mate. But you can blame that.
He'll be all right.
Also, please go and give him a follow on Twitch at Dan Must Die. So the question from Dan is to you, Mark, and it is: do you still listen to Fall Out Boy? And is Patrick Stump still up there as an inspiration?
Yeah. So, yes, I do. Yeah. So back in the day at school, me and Daniel listened to very similar music. And back when I was in school, as Daniel had said, the Fall Out Boy and this guy called Patrick Stump, who fronted Fall Out Boy, was like my idol. I loved him to pieces. His music was great. He was so talented. He was just fantastic at what he'd done. And in answer to your question, Daniel, I do still listen to them from time to time. Love their newer stuff. Not that it's new anymore, but like compared to what we listened to back in the day. And Patrick Stump is still someone that I feel like is musically gifted beyond another level. Yeah, I think he is insane at what he does. And hopefully we'll hear some more music from him soon. That'd be bro. Yeah.
Nice. There we go, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
There's your
thank
answer,
you, Daniel.
mate. And thank you for giving us our first ever question as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And I hope you're doing well, Dan.
And so do I, even though I talk to you often. And the second question relates to your headlines from last week. is a good
I
friend
know.
of mine.
Yeah, I know.
I think I think you know what this might be about, but this is from a friend of mine who goes by Tyler. And Tyler, I will not give out your second name like Mark just did because I'm not trying to bait you out. Tyler's question is again for you, Mark, and it is: why is Mark so fascinated with dildos?
This fucking guy. This fucking guy. Okay. So is that the end of the question? It was short and sweet.
That is your question.
Tyler's got a short and sweet question. Wants to ask me about dildos and that. Yeah.
He just wants
Right,
to know
cool.
why you're fascinated with dildos because I think you
Right.
mentioned them in 2 of your headlines.
So yeah, let me clarify this for everyone. The first episode we done the newspaper articles and the tabloids, true or false. Now, I was looking on Google and I saw this headline. I thought, right, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that because that sounds a bit crazy. And it had, I can't remember what the tabloid was now. Maybe Dan, if you can, I don't know, put a clip in there if you can. I don't know. If not, it was a mad tabloid about a dildo, and I said it. And I don't know whether Daniel, if you got it right or wrong, but it was a true tabloid. And then I had to make one up to catch Dan out again. And I'd just done this one, and I was like, off the top of the dome, let me just make something up. And then the word just came into my head, and I thought, oh, fuck it, we'll use it. We'll see what happens. And that's why that came. So Tyler, I do not have a fascination of dildos or anything of that matter. It's just the word was there, and it fell into my brain.
Are you sure about that, Mark? Can you
100%,
just clarify again?
I mean, I can show you all my drawers bar one.
Bar one.
No, I'm joking.
You can keep that drawer to yourself.
Yeah.
But Tyler, we appreciate the question.
Yeah, cheers, Ty.
I
hope you're well too, mate. Hope you're well.
I don't. But anyway, let's move on. So, mate, I think that's us done for today, man. I think we've covered all our subjects.
Lovely. I think that's a wrap for episode 2, man. I think we've touched base on some interesting topics there, and no doubt that we'll get some more for the future. So guys, if you have liked this episode, please like, comment and subscribe. Please, it will really help me and Daniel out, and it'll be really nice to know your thoughts and maybe your opinions on some of the questions and subjects that we spoke about today as well. Please get involved with the chat as well. Let us know what you think. But until then, guys, it's bye from me
and a goodbye from me.
And we'll see you in episode 3. Oh, that rhymed. Jeez.